Nothing.
Because I didn't understand what it meant. There you go. Is it really? Yes. Oh, okay. Whatever. Okay, so this one day, like today, right now is unit 5, and then we're done. So we are doing this one day. That's it. Today only. Okay? So you will have homework that is due Friday at 3 p.m. Yes, a lot of you are not doing much tomorrow, which means you can do it tomorrow. It is located in Delta Math. Okay, so this is in Delta Math. Your practice and your homework is in Delta Math, and it's due at 3 p.m. on Friday. Okay, so here we go. Example number 1. Example number 1 will say, actually erase. We're going to write steps down first. Okay. So here we go. If you want to write steps down, then write these steps down. Number 1, you need to find what x cannot equal. That's called your excluded values. And the reason I recommend you do it first is so you know right away if your answer will be an answer or if you'll have to cross it out. Okay? Abby, can you see the pencil back there? Okay. Okay. Number 2, you will have to find common denominators. Most of these problems will be adding and subtracting, which means you have to have a common denominator. Number 3, all denominators will cancel, and I'll show you why. You have to understand why. You can't just cancel them, okay? Number 4 will be to distribute / combine like terms. And number 5 will be to solve, which means your answer better say x equals something. Okay, so now let's go to example number 1. So example number 1 will say 1 plus 9x over x minus 6 equals 4 over x minus 6. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my excluded values. What can x not equal? So looking at this problem down here, what do I know x cannot equal? X cannot equal 6. So x cannot equal 6. And I'm going to kind of keep that in the back of my mind when I get my final answer. Okay? So in order to add or subtract, I have to have a common denominator. What will my common denominator be? The x minus 6. So this is very similar to what we did before. So I know I'm going to have all 3 fractions with an x minus 6. My first fraction, I had to add the denominator x minus 6, and if I put it in the denominator, I have to also put it in the numerator. My denominator for the other 2 fractions did not change, so it will stay exactly the same. Questions so far? Okay, so why am I able to just cancel all my denominators out? Because, first of all, if I have a fraction, how do I get rid of a fraction? Multiply by what? By the denominator. So my denominator is x minus 6. If I multiply every single fraction by x minus 6, have I gotten rid of every denominator? Yes, Okay, so how can I cross all these out? Because I am multiplying the entire thing by my denominator, which is x minus 6. So whenever I have all common denominators, not just two, all of them have to be common denominators, I no longer have a denominator. So I will have x minus 6 plus 9x equals 4. So if I combine, I'll have 10x minus 6 equals 4. 10x equals 10. So x equals 1. Is x equals 1 a good answer? Yes. How do I know? The only answer I cannot have is what x cannot equal. Okay? So this would be my final answer. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
How come whenever you multiply to cancel out the denominator, the numerator is changed?
Because if I have, okay, so if I have 2/3 x equals 6, this is really 6 over 1, right? How can I get rid of this 3 in the denominator? I multiply by 3 and multiply by 3. Did I really multiply on this side? No, the whole purpose was to cancel it out, right? Now, on here, I would have to multiply because my denominators are different. But if this was the same denominator, would I have to actually multiply it? No, because again, they would cancel each other out. Okay? Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I want you to try this one either on your own or with your neighbor next to you, and then we're going to make it one step harder. Don't be a baby. All right, everybody try this one while I take attendance, please. What's my common denominator going to be? No, I'm going to wait. I'm not doing it. I'm just making sure you've started. X plus 8. Ooh, good answer. Good question. No. So this is how it should be set up. I haven't solved yet. I'm still giving you time to solve. All right, here we go. Let's talk about this real quick since I got lots of people. Let's talk about this. So first of all, the very first thing you should have told me is what can x not equal? What can x not equal? -8, okay? Then I find my common denominator of x plus 8. Why can I cross all my common denominators out? But why? Because if I were to multiply every fraction by the denominator, all three denominators would eliminate. So then I have 9x plus 72. Where did that come from? I distributed plus x equals -8, which would give me 10x equals -80, and x equals -8. Can this be the answer?
No.
Why not? Because that's what we said. It cannot equal that. So this is not a good answer. So what would my solution be? No solution. Okay. Questions? Okay, we're going to go to the next one. I said it's one step harder. It's really not. Just to scare you. Here we go. X minus x plus 7 over x minus 10 equals 5 over x minus 10. So same exact steps. What can x not equal?
10.
X cannot equal 10. Very good. So now I need a common denominator. My x minus 10 is my common denominator. I still have an x in the numerator, but I also now have to include my x minus 10 in the numerator. Okay. Questions so far?
No.
Should be fairly simple, right? So now I'm going to distribute. I can eliminate all my denominators because they're exactly the same, all three of them. If one of them had a plus 10, could I eliminate them? No. Okay. So now I have x squared minus 10x. Where did that come from? My distribution. Here's the part you're going to forget. Minus x minus 7. Why minus 7? Because I'm subtracting both items. Equals 5. So I have x squared minus 11x minus 12. Where did minus 12 come from? I have to set it equal to 0 because this is now a quadratic, which means I can factor or make your eye chart. So I have x minus 12 and x plus 1. Set them both equal to 0. So x equals 12 and x equals -1. Can both answers be true? Yes, because what's the only answer I could not have? X equals 10. So both would be true. It's just harder because you have more steps. That's it. Okay? All right, I'm going to give you one I want you to try. I will help you set it up if you would like, because you do have to find a real common denominator in this one. So 1 over x minus 4 plus 8 equals 4 over x squared minus 4x. Do you want me to help you set it up?
Yes.
No. Not yet. 2 minutes.
Okay, here's my hint first. You need to go figure out what this can factor out to. So go get me a new denominator on the right side. So my new denominator on the right side, I can factor out an x. So what does that mean my new common denominator will have to be? X and x minus 4, okay? So I like to write my common denominators so I know what I'm working with. In my first fraction, what part of the denominator was missing? The x, so the x goes on top. And then in my second one, both parts were missing, so both parts have to go in the numerator. And then in the last one, nothing was missing, so it stays the same. Can I cancel all denominators from here? Yes. So I'll end up with 8x squared minus 31x minus 4 equals 0. Can I make an eye chart? No, I cannot. You have to slide and divide. Do not forget to do your division part. That's where most of us lose points. Oh, you know what I forgot to do very first, though? I did not find what x could not equal. Thank you. I know. What can x not equal? 0. What else can x not equal? Or 4. It can't equal either one of those, okay? So when I end up solving, I get x equals 4 and x equals negative 1/8. Are they both my answer? The 4 cannot be my answer because it cannot be included. So this one would just have one answer of negative 1/8. Okay. We moved fast through that one. Are there questions? Okay, good question. Why can my denominator not equal 0? Who knows where that 0 comes from? Just the x. The x, because I have an x and an x minus 4, correct? So x cannot equal 0 and x minus 4 cannot equal 0. So then this one stays and I'm solved for that x, okay? Okay. All right, last type of question you can have. Yep. We have one last example.
Oh,
Grab me a river.
I will.
X over 4 equals 1/4 plus x over 6. I have to have a common denominator. What will my common denominator be? 12. Okay. So how do I get from 4 to 12? I multiply by 3, so that's what I have to do to the numerator. Same thing from 1/4. How do I get from 4 to 12? I multiply by 3, so 1 times 3 is 3. How do I get from 6 to 12? Multiply by 2, so I have to do that in the numerator. What happens to all my denominators? They cancel. Do I need to find what x cannot equal? Because there's no x in the denominator, so that means x can equal all real numbers.
We put all real numbers into count as well.
No, it's x can equal, so there's nothing, there's no undetermined, undefined location. So I have 3x equals 3 plus 2x. Subtract 2x from both sides, so x would equal 3. Easy peasy, right? All right, here's the one for you to do, and then we are done with our examples and notes. Does this have an undefined denominator? Yes. How do I know? Because it has an x in my denominator. What can x not equal? 0. What's your common denominator going to be? 10x. Very good.
Oh, no.
The last one. This is
You
the one
said
you
that
have to do.
5.
The last one I did. That's the last example. This is yours to do.
You told us what the thing is.
Oh, you call downstairs. You're so funny. Check your answer. If you get the same answer, you may get your computer out and log into Delta Math.
I didn't get the same answer.
Very good.
Maybe I'm I mean.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry. No, it's not supposed to be positive, but it should be 5/2 instead of 2/5. Sorry, guys. Is that better? There we go. Okay. Once you are finished, get into Delta Math. Your assignment is due by Friday. I do not know, to be honest with you, because we had word problems, and I convinced Miss Curry to take math.
Have you even do it?
What?